Welcome to the Deep Dive, where we cut through the noise and get straight to the insights.
Glad to be here.
Today, we're doing something a little different. We're looking at an article by Webcraft Thumbsa Idman.
Right, over on daily.dev.
Exactly. Published May 10, 2025. And daily.dev, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a great spot where developers share insights, practical stuff.
Yeah, lots of good cutting-edge discussion there.
So the title we're going to focus on is The Backend for Frontend, BFF Pattern. Secure Auth done right. Now, here's the interesting part. We're not actually diving into the article's content today.
No, we're taking a step back.
Right. We want to see what insights we can pull just from that title, from the way those specific terms are put together.
Which is a fascinating exercise in itself. How much meaning is packed into a well-crafted title like that?
Precisely. And just for clarity, the backend for Frontend, the BFF, it's basically a backend service designed, specifically for one frontend.
Tailored, yeah. For a web app, mobile app, whatever it might be.
Exactly. Custom fit.
And pairing that concept, the BFF pattern, directly with secure auth done right. Well, that immediately tells you something important is going on.
It does. It makes you ask.
Why this pattern? For this specific critical task, secure authentication is huge. Why link BFF to doing it right?
Yeah, it's like a signpost, isn't it? Pointing towards a recommended solution.
Definitely a signpost. Not just describing, but prescribing almost.
So whether you're just starting out in development, or you're an architect deep in the trenches, or maybe you're just curious about, how all this digital security stuff works. This title alone kind of gives you a shortcut, a clue about a key challenge and a recognized way to approach it.
A foundational piece, really. It hints at the complexity involved.
Okay, so let's start peeling it back, the first part. The backend for Frontend, BFF, pattern.
Right.
That word pattern, it carries a lot of weight in software, doesn't it? What does it really signal when we see that?
Oh, absolutely. Pattern is huge. It immediately signals we're not talking about like some brand new, untested idea or a quick fix.
Not just a random suggestion.
No, definitely not. In software, especially architecture, design patterns are, well, they're established solutions.
Right.
Reusable blueprints for common problems.
Problems that keep cropping up.
Exactly. Things developers have run into again and again. These patterns are tried, tested, refined over time by lots and lots of people.
So they represent a kind of collective wisdom.
Precisely. They embody best practices, lessons learned, often the hard way. And crucially, they give teams a shared language.
Okay, so everyone knows what you mean by BFF pattern.
Right. It improves communication dramatically. You're not explaining a complex structure from scratch every time. You just say the pattern name.
So seeing pattern in the title tells us this is a mature, well-understood approach.
Absolutely. It signals reliability. It suggests this isn't just a way, but likely a good way, a structured way, to tackle whatever problem it addresses. It's not a hack. It's architecture.
Got it. That distinction is important. It's not just a label. It's a signal of maturity, of something developers can rely on.
A solid foundation to build upon.
Okay, but then there's the second part of the title. Secure Auth done right.
Yeah, that's the kicker.
That phrase. It sounds almost like a warning, Like danger, high voltage, but for code.
Ha! Yeah, it kind of does. It definitely screams importance.
So what does Secure Auth really mean in practice?
Yeah.
And why is doing it right apparently such a big deal that it needs this specific call-out?
Well, secure auth is, it's fundamental. Authentication is just proving who you are, right? Verifying identity before you get access.
The digital bouncer, basically.
Exactly. And the secure part means doing that verification in a way that actually protects the user, protects their data, stops unauthorized people getting in.
So keeping the bad guys out.
And protecting the good guys' information. It's the absolute bedrock of trust online. If your authentication is weak, everything else is vulnerable.
Okay, but the done right part,
Yeah.
that implies there are wrong ways.
Oh, countless wrong ways. And the consequences aren't trivial. We're talking data breaches, identity theft, total loss of user trust, huge financial hits.
Right. Things that can kill a product or a company.
Absolutely. Common mistakes are everywhere. Storing passwords badly, handling session tokens insecurely, not protecting against phishing or brute force attacks. The list goes on.
So done right isn't just about making it work. It's about making it resilient against attacks.
Precisely. It implies a level of robustness and awareness of the threats. It raises the question, what are those subtle mistakes people make?
The pitfalls.
Yeah, the pitfalls. What makes standard approaches potentially not done right in certain contexts, making a specific pattern necessary?
It suggests the simple or obvious way might actually be dangerous.
Often, yes. Especially as applications get more complex. Security requires careful, deliberate design.
So it's more than just a best practice, it's almost a survival guide. Secure Auth is the gatekeeper for everything valuable online. Your identity, your data, your money.
Couldn't have said it better. It's not just a feature, it has to be woven into the very fabric of the system from the start.
If that first defense line is shaky.
Everything behind it is at risk. It undermines all other security efforts.
Okay, this is where it gets really interesting then. The title connects these two big ideas.
The pattern and the problem.
Exactly. We have this recognized architectural approach, the backend for front-end pattern, and it's being explicitly tied to secure auth done right.
The linkage is key.
So the title isn't just saying, hey, BFFs exist or hey, do auth securely. It's saying, use this pattern for secure auth. Why?
Yeah, that's the core implication.
What does that pairing tell us? Why would a BFF specifically be the key, or at least a major part of the solution here? Why not just let the front-end app handle security?
That's a great question. And the title strongly implies that maybe having the front end handle all the complex auth logic or talk directly to lots of different back-end services for auth.
That might be risky. Or just too complicated.
Both, potentially. Think about a modern mobile app. It might need to talk to your main user database, maybe a third-party payment gateway, perhaps social login providers.
Right, lots of different systems.
Each potentially with its own security requirements, its own way of handling tokens or credentials, trying to manage all that securely inside the mobile app itself.
That sounds messy and maybe insecure, exposing too much logic or too many secrets on the client.
Exactly. The client side, the user's device, is inherently less trusted, less controlled than your backend servers. So the BFF steps in.
As the intermediary.
Right. Think of it like a dedicated security guard or maybe a concierge just for that specific front-end app.
Okay, I like the concierge idea.
Instead of the mobile app juggling keys and protocols for 5 different doors, it just talks to its concierge, the BFF.
And the BFF handles the tricky parts.
Precisely. The BFF, running on your trusted server environment, manages the sensitive stuff, exchanging codes for tokens, securely storing API keys for downstream services, handling complex redirect flows for things like OAuth or multi-factor authentication.
So it keeps the sensitive operations off the client device.
Exactly. It creates a crucial separation of concerns. The BFF becomes a dedicated security checkpoint, tailored for that front-end's needs. It shields the client from the complexity and the direct exposure to sensitive tokens or credentials.
So it's not just about making API calls cleaner, which is often the first thing people think of with BFFs.
No, that's often a benefit, but the title implies a deeper security role.
It's acting as a security shield, especially for these more complex scenarios. Multiple clients, microservices.
Right, where direct client-to-service communication for auth becomes problematic or risky.
So the title is basically saying, look, we've seen problems securing auth properly in these modern setups.
And here's a pattern, the BFF, that offers a robust, done-right architectural solution.
By taking the risky bits away from the client. That really clarifies the connection. That's the aha moment.
Exactly. It's fascinating, isn't it? The title implies that simple, direct connections might not be enough for secure auth done right anymore.
The landscape has changed.
Yes, and the BFF pattern provides an architectural answer to that increased complexity and risk. It simplifies what the client needs to do while strengthening the overall security.
It's acknowledging that evolution in development and the need for our security patterns to evolve too.
Couldn't agree more.
So let's pull this together. What does all this mean for you listening? Whether you're building stuff, managing teams, or just trying to get a handle on the tech world.
Well, this title, the backend for front-end, BFF pattern, secure auth done right, it packs a powerful message even without reading the article.
It's a concentrated insight.
Yeah. First, it really highlights how software architecture is constantly evolving, right? Especially to tackle critical challenges like security. Patterns like BFF don't appear in a vacuum. They arise from real needs.
Needs driven by new complexities.
Exactly. Second, it underlines just how valuable understanding design patterns is. They're not just theory. They're practical tools for building systems that are more robust, easier to manage, and, crucially here, more secure.
Gives you a proven toolkit.
Right. And third, and this is probably the biggest point the title hammers home, is the absolute necessity of prioritizing secure authentication. And not just prioritizing it, but actively looking for established, proven patterns to implement it correctly.
So don't wing it when it comes to security.
Definitely don't wing it. Security, especially Auth, demands a deliberate, structured, pattern-based approach if you want it done right.
So the title acts like a compass.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. A compass pointing towards a specific, well-regarded strategy for tackling a non-negotiable part of building trust online. It shows how a smart architectural choice can fundamentally improve security.
And just by understanding that title, by unpacking why those terms are together, you've already got a big head start.
You really have.
You recognize the specific problem securing auth in complex modern apps, and a recognized solution, the BFF pattern.
It saves you from potentially having to rediscover those challenges and solutions yourself the hard way.
It's like getting a crucial tip-off. Sometimes the most valuable clues are right there in the headline, hiding in plain sight.
Absolutely. Careful naming can convey a lot.
So, just to recap, we've taken a deep dive into just the title of an article by Hamza Diabad on daily.dev.
And found a surprising amount just in those few words.
Yeah, discovering how that careful phrasing, the backend for frontend, BFF pattern, secure auth done right, really signals a specific solution to a critical problem.
We've seen how it highlights the power of architectural patterns for complex issues and just how vital truly secure authentication is, especially now with distributed systems being so common.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Knowing this specific pattern exists to get secure auth done right, what other established patterns are out there, quietly solving really tough problems in software? Problems that seem almost impossible sometimes.
That's a great question. How could understanding those patterns better help us build a more secure, more reliable digital world overall?
Food for thought.
Yeah.
And of course, if this discussion piqued your interest,
You should definitely check out the full article.
absolutely. We encourage you to look up the article on daily.dev by Webcraft Hamza Ibmad, dated May 10th, 2025. Get the full details on how the BFF pattern achieves this.
It's the logical next step to really understand the implementation.
Definitely an excellent step for your learning journey. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.